Hey guys, and welcome. You're listening to Campus Connect with your hosts David and
Ashley.
And we've got a great show lined up for you. Tell them, Ash.
Yeah, guys, we've got word on the streets, watu waseti, or as I like to call them, Beba with Nelly Rutere.
Then Grace will take us to the world of health, of self-care.
Then, of course, we've got an interesting story from Sifa and Pauline on the paradox of integrity. And finally, we'll wrap up with football updates for our football fans from Clarence.
Yeah, so let's get into it with Nelly's beat on watu waseti, ama watu wa beba, as Ash likes to call them.
Watu waseti nimesikia sana kuwahusu, ni watu nashinda nao daily.
Ni kama mtu waseti akishuka kuna mwingine kwa masira zake za kwake, vitu kama hizo watu.
Tukita!
Biashara gani?
Tukita kai!
Watu waseti, inside the world of fake passengers. In the bustling world of Kenyan matatus, a peculiar phenomenon has long perplexed passengers, the enigmatic fake passengers, or better known as watu waseti. These individuals strategically board matatus to create the illusion of a nearly full vehicle, tricking unsuspecting commuters into believing departure is imminent.
So makiona gari na watu hao waseti, hata notice ni watu waseti. Atadhani ni customer na
tu kwa gari. Na unatoka hapo na shilingi. Unajua hata saa hii hapa nimekaa nimekaa hapa.
While some may view these practices unfair or even annoying, others see it as a clever hustle, a blend of street smarts and psychological insight. The concept is simple, yet very effective. Fake passengers are paid a nominal fee, typically between 20 and 40 Kenyan shillings, to occupy seats until the matatu reaches its capacity.
Paka 20 bob, unasapata tunawalipa 30, hata 50.
This tactic not only speeds up the boarding process, but also benefits passengers by ensuring quicker departures. However, the downside is the feeling of being deceived, as passengers realize they have been duped into boarding a seemingly full matatu. On the other side, being a fake matatu passenger isn't always smooth sailing. These undercover hustlers might have perfected the art of sitting still and acting bored, but even they hit a few bumps on the road.
Job labda time yenye makarao wamekuja hapa hivi kushika makamagera hawa. Hiyo tu ndio challenge juu. Sasa watu karao wanaweza mshika akidhania ni kamagera.
Imagine this. You've spent half your day pretending to be engrossed in your phone or fake sleeping, only for the conductor you agreed with to suddenly refuse to pay up. After all that time warming a seat, now you're left with nothing but a bruised ego and an unpaid gig. It's a tough game, even for the pros of the matatu hustle.
Anakusa kuna watu wengine wabaya. Mtu ako na roho chafu kabisa. Unaweza wajazishia gari akose kulipa. Ama ajifanye atiani ndani ya mtu na wanajua kazi yenye tunafanya hapa.
These fake passengers continue to play their role in the dynamic world of Kenyan public transportation, adding a touch of mystery and intrigue to the daily commute. And that's the scoop on Nairobi's undercover matatu passengers. Next time someone jumps out a little bit too quickly, don't be surprised. They might just be wrapping up their shift. Keep your seatbelt on, if you can find one.
Yeah, thanks Nelly. That was very interesting, don't you think?
Yes, actually. As much as it seems deceitful, it's also kind of interesting, you know? I mean, some of these beba guys are usually decently dressed, so it's hard to spot them out. Anyways, our next segment is on self-love with Grace. Let's get educated, shall we?
In a goal-oriented world, it is easy to get caught up in the hustle and neglect the most important person in your life, you. Most of us think that self-love is just about getting our hair done, going out once in a while, or having enough sleep. In my opinion, self-love goes deeper than that. It's about celebrating your strengths, being kind to yourself, and most importantly, embracing who you are regardless of your achievements. That's Alphan's views on self-love.
Self-love is like the love for oneself. Vile unajipenda wewe mwenyewe.
It's all about pressing yourself before others, like, and you appreciate yourself.
First, mtu haizi survive bila self-love. Self-love is just loving yourself the way you are.
prioritizing yourself first before or maybe putting your needs first.
How do you show your self-love?
For me personally, sometimes I take myself out.
Kuna ile yenye unaweza tumia money just to spoil yourself a little bit.
Maybe being patient with yourself. Just taking care of yourself. Maybe in a scenario mali una feel overwhelmed in anything, maybe just stepping back and reflecting on how you'll benefit on a certain scenario.
Kujitreat, kujibaya manguo. Yeah, basically doing whatever makes me happy. Charity starts from home.
For Campus Connect, I'm Grace Muthoni.
Wow! I didn't know self-love was that deep. Thanks, Grace.
Yeah, we really need to dive deeper into that conversation. Our next segment is on the paradox of integrity with Sifa and Pauline.
Well, hello listeners. Welcome to the Paradox of Integrity, the show where we step into the gray areas of right and wrong.
Here, we ask questions that challenge your convictions, test your principles, and make you pause to think if it's really that simple to choose between right and wrong. So buckle up and prepare to second guess yourself when we put your morality on the chopping board.
The million-dollar question of today is, on a particular night, your sister Anne comes to your place with a black eye. On asking, you find out that she got into an argument with her husband, who they have been married for 5 good years. The quarrel escalated and got physical. As a good sibling, you obviously console her and she stays at your place over the night.
In the morning, Anne decides to go back home, despite you advising her not to. After 3 days, you receive a phone call from the police. This is where things start to get interesting. They ask you the last day you saw Anne, and you told them that it was 3 days prior. They inform you that a body has been found and it was battered, and it has unfortunately been identified as Anne's due to the presence of her wedding ring.
Devastated, you inform them of the day Anne came to your place. The investigation concludes that Anne's husband is the culprit. Anne's husband is therefore sentenced to a life imprisonment. A few days go by and you receive another phone call. But this time around, it is from an unknown number. Surprisingly, it is from Anne, which leaves you very, very, very confused.
Anne explains to you of how she managed to not only plan, but execute her fake murder. She further explains that she wants her husband to rot behind bars. In a few days, she would be leaving the country.
So, my beautiful listeners, what will you do in this instance? Will you report your sister to the police, saving an innocent man from a life imprisonment, which would lead to your sister being arrested and charged with faking a crime and potentially ruining your relationship? Or let things remain as they are, saving your sister at the expense of another person's life?
This clearly goes to show that life is not always as straightforward as some of us would like to think. We are going to leave it there and let you ponder on this.
We have been your hosts,
Baria Pauline,
Yvonne Sifa. Have a great time.
Hey, that was an intriguing story. Okay, but as for me, I will not allow my sister to rot in prison. I mean, blood is thicker than water. Amma, what do you think, David?
Yeah, as much as what she did wasn't right, I'd still support my sister because family is family after all.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap up with an update on the football arena from Clarence.
Wagwan, welcome to your number one radio magazine, The Campus Connect, and this is your favorite segment, The Sports Desk, brought to you by
Clarence Agama,
David Motemi, and me, Felix Tanoe.
Salah! Astonishing! Balotelli, Aguero! In by Kulusevski. Kane! That is Extraordinary!
Clarence, Buda, tupeleke na mtaratara games za weekend ziliendaje?
Ukianza na Manchester City, mabingwa EPL. Walikuwa wacheza na Southampton manze.
Game ya City ni bomba kwanza Haaland hapo hivyo.
Bruyne, Haaland! Again and again and again!
Fanya vitu zake kama kawaida.
Man. So but mimi kwanza hapo mika fan wa Man City nilishtuka Southampton walikuwa comfortable na ball.
Lakini ukicheki pia the previous matches za Southampton na Man City kuna vile kumekuwa na notion Southampton wanakaza game ya Man City. Unacheki Barcelona na Real.
It's Messi! Oh, again! The medicine man arrives and sinks his flaming spear into the hearts of Real Madrid. Casemiro kept on going, fed it for Ronaldo! Of course! Of course!
El Clasico wadau. Ay. Mimi nashushia Real kwanza. Kuna kitu moja hapo walinibona. Walikuwa na chance kicheki mseka Mbappe. Kuna offer alienda na hiyo offer haikuwa aende. Unacheki? Ingesha hivyo.
Yeah, so Felix Barcelona, David Mutemi Barcelona, but me I stand with Real Madrid manze. Talent is a talent. Hadi nyinyi mnajua ubo ni bully manze. Hatukatai but
alafu ka celebrate na celebration ya icon CR7. Calma Boda akiwa Santiago.
Hiyo nao ilikuwa humiliation hiyo ilikuwa humiliation kwa Real Madrid. Unapiga celebration ya wa star ya timu unafunga manze.
Lakini Real of late wamekuwa na shida.
Ikifika
time ya kushoot, kitu ya kushoot mna pass. Kitu ya kupass mna shoot. Alafu Vinicius na Mbappe ni sijui mbona wanatrap hizo offside. Na hao wako na pace.
Wako na pace wana vijana
wa defender. Bado wakimbie 1-on-1 atamshinda. Lakini bado alikuwa anaingia hizo maovu. Haya Otomaniu.
Bruno Fernandes, beautiful ball. Marcus Rashford's onto it. And Rashford scores! Old Trafford triumphant again. Marcus Rashford is himself again. That is the player we remember.
Hapo mimi ateli jokes. Mimi manze naweza waambia tu ukweli ya Manchester fan manze. Tuko na roho ngumu, huwa tushtukini hata tukubali ya win is a win, but Manchester remains red, remains strong.
Son flicks it in. Richarlison! It's in! The Evertonian old boy has come back to Merseyside and pierced the heart of Liverpool.
Hata mi game yao sijui ni nini la kiangalia la season hapo season ikianza kabla season wali-win
first 10 games 30 points manze.
Kini squeeze hadi timu ndogo inawapiga bro.
Alafu sasa hiyo game kubwa. Mimi kama mwana Man City niko tunaomba draw kwa hiyo game.
Personally as a Manchester fan nilikuwa nataka Arsenal ipigwe. Wanataka kunikaribia na hawawezi. Nimeona Arsenal ni kwetu marafiki. Nikamwacha nivae jezi ya Arsenal. Kidogo nimepiga tie nimemwaga kwa kikombe. Kuinua kikombe. Wola la. Kikombe nashinda kuinua.
Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, join us on our next magazine for more fire content like this.